Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the day 5 of the Marketing Cloud Personalization series. So we hope you are able to learn from this series and able to see the screen. Okay, we believe you are able to learn something out of this series, and we welcome your feedback and any suggestions that you want us to include in the series. Please feel free to let me know, and make sure that you register to all the upcoming sessions in this series. There are 10 more series. I'll share the link, and we have the Ask Me Anything panel, as you all know, that is on September 5th. I'll also share the link to the form. Fill in with your questions that we can address in that Ask Me Anything panel. And I do have a couple of vouchers that I am giving one on each session. So I'm going to share the link in the chat. So today's it's going to be a raffle. I will do a duck race at the end of this session. So if anybody is looking for a certification voucher, please fill this form with your information. And then at the end, I will do a raffle and pick one winner. And don't get discouraged if you do not get the voucher today. We have 10 more sessions where I'll be giving each in each session a voucher. So good luck, everyone. And this session will be recorded and it will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, MC Learning Camp. With that, so I would like to invite our special guest today, Katya. So she is special because she has done the Interaction Studio session series, the 3-part series, a long time ago. I think it's 2 years, right, Kathy? Ikat?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, these have been very helpful because there were very limited resources for the Interaction Studio. And at that time, the PLC also doesn't have this structured course as well. So that content has been really helpful. And there were very few people who were experienced in the Interaction Studio. So Ikat has all the experience and the knowledge. So save your questions, post them in the chat. If not, post them in the Ask Me Anything panel form. I will share it shortly. So Ikat, thank you very much for accepting the invite and willing to present to the group. So with that, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Josna. Yeah, hello everyone, and welcome to day 5 of this amazing Marketing Cloud personalization series. First of all, yeah, I'm again grateful for the opportunity to participate at one of my the most favorite products from Salesforce, which is Marketing Cloud personalization. And secondly, I want to say that, Josna has introduced that I was participating at very first, let's say, product sharing sessions when there were limited resources, where there was limited knowledge about the product itself. And I will tell you more how it started actually, because we connected with Josna on a different topic, just to, you know, just to share something interesting to the community. And it was, I remember, some customization in Marketing Cloud. And then I told that, yeah, I have some knowledge on that time it was called Interaction Studio. Some knowledge on this, and I would like to share, because the product was that time very popular and nobody knew anything about it, but was curious what's going on. So it was really a blast to share this knowledge. Even like I just grabbed whatever I know about it and shared with the community. And we still have these sessions on YouTube, which are like get and steal some kind of views, as well as I still get some kind of questions and receive connections based on that content in LinkedIn. And yeah, I mean, we kicked off it successfully, and now I see how you continue with the sessions and help people to get this knowledge from the true experts. So that's an amazing opportunity to learn. And yeah, for today, I hope you will enjoy my session. This week you will spend with me, and we will focus together on data integration part, as well as unified customer profile. I try to highlight the most important parts of this kind of topic for you. And on Thursday in today's, we will focus on segmentation. So it still like relates to data. So I would like to tell right away that if we are not like, let's say, covering the whole agenda of today, there is still space for the next session. So no worries, we will see how we go. Because I also want to include some platform demo to show you around all the theoretical part that I will present. And maybe a question to you, Josna. There are presentations that will be shared, right, with the people who are attending?
Okay, sorry, Ikat, you're breaking in between.
Presentations are shared, right?
Yes, we are going to share the presentations, and all the presentation links, the slide deck links will be added in the description part of the video that is being uploaded.
Cool. That's nice because I also included some kind of links inside of my presentations, because some of the parts you can explore yourself. So I will definitely present it to you, explain everything. But in case you want to dive a bit deeper into the topic, I included links into the slides so that you can explore and make some, let's say, home study on the topic, or at least, you know, have the deck where you have right away the links to the official Salesforce documentation, both developers documentation as well as normal documentation that covers some product aspects. So before we jump,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Before we jump into the topic, I would like to present you myself. So my name is Ekaterina Obolenskaya, which is a quite long name. So you can call me Ekat, Katya, Katie, whatever you prefer. So Ekat is just something very unique, and I like it so much. That's why it's like, again, something that you can just name it like this. I consider myself a rather a Marketing Cloud full stack consultant, because I'm focused not only on Marketing Cloud itself, but rather on some niche products, which is intelligence, which is like core engagement, and of course personalization, which was previously presented as Interaction Studio product. And I'm also currently focused on delivery of data cloud projects, so projects and product. So also extending my knowledge.
Ikat, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I think it's the bandwidth problem. Do you mind to turn off your video, because your voice is breaking in between?
Yes. And can you hear now better?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I'm like sitting in the office, so the Wi-Fi should not be a problem. So yeah, I turned off the video so we can continue. So yeah, so I'm rather focused on a full stack Marketing Cloud product. I am a marketing champion from the very beginning of this championship being announced. So it's like already third year in a row. I'm leading a Salesforce marketing group rather focused on B2B, which was started in Prague, Czech Republic. So I'm based in Europe. And but it's like not only on B2B, we speak a lot about Marketing Cloud and other like integrations and products. I'm a 8-time certified marketing automation expert. Currently, I'm leading marketing automation practice at Flow. I joined the company quite recently, like a few months ago, and really happy about this decision. And I also actively speaking about both of my experience, sharing the product knowledge, sharing my kind of niche experience. I'm helping people to prepare for any kind of Marketing Cloud certification. So if you have some questions or you need some help with it, I'm the right person to contact with. And of course, as all of us here, I'm a trailblazer. You can have here some links to my profiles, Twitter and LinkedIn. I would say I'm mostly active in LinkedIn, but sometimes if I not forget and I have time, I post also on Twitter. But yeah, happy to connect with all of you. Please use the links. And yeah, we can focus on the agenda for today. So I will make some intro on the topic itself. Then we will focus on integrations. So it's rather two parts of presentations I want to do today. It's related to integrations and unified customer profile. On the integration, it will be focused on overall how multi-cloud personalization views the data, what are data feeds, what is the ETL process, which channels we might integrate. I know that there is already covered web channels, so it will be taken rather briefly. We will focus also on API integration, so I will tell you more aspects on this, cover slightly integration with Salesforce products, but the links will be included so that you can explore more information and processes and let's say some kind of details of each integration yourself using the links. And there is also part of the presentation which are useful sources, so something extra that you can explore yourself. And yeah, and of course, then the other part will be focused on unified customer profile. That is the part of today's agenda. So let's get started. The introduction. So let's view on the data in Marketing Cloud personalization. It's important to know before we jump into the data integration topic, how the product, what are the main focuses and primary areas in Marketing Cloud personalization. So basically the tool uses this three primary areas of key information in the system. One part is focused on user level data. So it's personal data. It's it relates to user behavior. It's tracked at the user level. Of course, system can view also account data when, let's say, there is a B2B industry client who is not only doing customer relationship, but also contacts business and then households. It's very important for clients like, for instance, telecommunication or even some insurance companies, which I had projects with. So it's a mix. But the thing is that first primary area relates to contactable person and users that we actually build relationship with, and we would like to build communication. The next part, the next primary area is catalog object data. So when we view what exactly we want to contact our clients or users or accounts, so what is our business, key business objects like, and it's not limited to products, it's all of them. It's like product items, product themselves, like content, sometimes it's like services promoted. So again, it's something that we would like to promote, that with this type of content, we would like to personalize our clients' channel experience. And this is represented with integration of shadow catalog. It's also represented by promotions, because then this content is used for actually promoting on, let's say, web, email, mobile experience, and etc. I would also say that why I put all of these examples here is because, yeah, there are some clients who are focused on e-commerce where it's important to promote products. There are also clients, for instance, focused on, let's say there was one client I work with, which was content promotion, because they were selling newspapers in digital format. So some articles should be promoted. So it's also part of implementation of personalization. So it's not limited only to products as we might view on it, but it's all of the business objects that we would like to promote on in the personalization. And the third part is tracking. So when we connect users that we track behavior on, when we promote this user some kind of business object, some kind of content, product, we would like, of course, to see and measure the performance. So how we perform, our campaigns are successful, do we receive reactions? So I would say that personalization also focused on this type of data, which is tracking, And here I put key performance indicators, let's say lifetime value counted or purchase revenue and other available metrics in the system. And this helps us to not only report on the performance, but also, let's say, export such information and, let's say, review it somewhere else if needed, like, or include it to overall campaign performance if there are some other systems used for this. So it's user, it's catalog object data, and it's tracking. This is what you can find in personalization, what personalization solves, and how it views on the data overall. Then let's focus on what actually Marketing Cloud personalization can do. So also, like, please, I try to simplify the flows so that you really get the understanding of tool performance, tool processes, and not to overwhelm you with the information, even though there will be enough information today, but just to simplify so that it's easier to understand all these things. In personalization, we can bring data in, so we can connect Marketing Cloud personalization with other systems, and today is the focus. So which systems can be included, which flows, how it's done. So we pull information from that various systems, not only limited to Salesforce products, and bring it into personalization. Then we have an option to bring data out of personalization. This is the case when we need to extract collected data, collected analytics data to other systems to report on it. There are also some cases in my experience when what is tracked by personalization and what is reported in personalization was not enough, and the client used their own BI tool. So that personalization provided, let's say, we did some exports and extracts to take all this tracked data about people, segments, performance, and etc., and then analyze it, upload it to BI tool, analyze it there together with other pooled data. So sometimes it's the case, that's why it's important to mention it here. Then, of course, when we speak either of bringing data in or bringing data out, we have two ways of working with data flows. One is standardized option when we have available tools for Marketing Cloud personalization to proceed with the data. And today we will definitely cover this. So it's classic data feeds. It's channel integration when various communication channels are included. This channel integration is rather focused on communication campaigns that we would like to run, and let's say Salesforce products, as well as some other other integrations available. So this is something that personalization offers by default, and we can immediately use from the moment we get the access to the tool. Another thing is, of course, customization. We all know that Salesforce products are having open API so that they can be integrated with any kind of the source, depends on your development skills. So here I wrote like hello API because customization is allowed, but it's connection via API. Today, I also will share with you all relevant links, and in case you have any questions on this, please let me know in the chat. So data in, data out, standardizations, which is natively available out of the box, and customization through the API. So let's focus on data feeds. And start with the ETL. ETL normally stands for extract, transform, and load process. So short intro is that when you want to bring in data into personalization, you need to prepare CSV format files. But for those who are frequently using Marketing Cloud, it's not enough just to bring in, like, to have a table of data and upload it to, let's say, personalization as we do it, let's say, in Marketing Cloud for data extensions. It's slightly different because this data should be first not only like prepared itself, but also formatted according to specifications that personalization has. And here I include these links. So first of all, available ETL data fits. I will comment on this once I will share with you the platform demo. And all these ETL file requirements that actually has this formatization of the data that you need to do before you like to upload CSV format files into personalization tool. So it has even some, under this link, you have also some examples of the data. And actually these two links are very important to know. And it's like, it's, I will comment on this during the demo, but please, if you're interested more in this topic, explore these links for sure. So once we have the right format according to this file requirements, we prepared a CSV format file. We need to ingest this file into SFTP. Marketing Cloud Personalization has its own dedicated SFTP. It's not connected to Marketing Cloud because this is something that should be done extra when you integrate both platforms. So it's not the same, of course, access to Marketing Cloud, even though both platforms can be connected. They use two different SFTP storages for transforming and loading the data, or even like export it. So we ingest this CSV format file into SFTP, and then it's uploaded into Marketing Cloud Personalization, but it also needs to pass this flow of extract of the data, transformation in its raw, and then upload into the actual data object and in personalization. So I have also prepared this kind of differentiation between extract flow, transform flow, and load flow. So when we extract the data, so how system, what is like step-by-step guideline of how data is managed. Feed file that we have prepared, which is formatted already, is picked up from that SFTP folder where we put it. This raw data in this file is then extracted and loaded into a staging table in personalization. If there are some kind of missing inputs like some identifiers, or maybe if we have a specific format of the field and it's not in a correct way presented in the file, these errors will be displayed. So that's why we have this testing phase between when data is coming into, and then we can, of course, update it and then upload it in the right format. So again, this style of data upload is different than upload of the data, even with prepared CSV files to Marketing Cloud. So please be careful with that. The transform phase is when all data transformations are made to prepare the data for the final loading into personalization. So in this stage, we know that, yeah, everything is good with the data. So we adjust, like the system is just transforming it to and putting it into right format, and it's prepared for loading into the right object in personalization. And during the load phase, so we are on the last step, data is loaded into the proper place of the data model. There is a link available, no worries, where I will guide you through this, let's say, data model, hidden data model of personalization, because again, the product was acquired. So it was called Evergage before, then it was named and presented as Interaction Studio. Now it's Marketing Cloud Personalization. And of course, because this is different product from the overall Salesforce portfolio, it has still its own kind of setup and backend that was transformed, of course, into Salesforce user interface, but still there are some differentiation between how data is used, let's say, in Marketing Cloud, and how data is viewed and presented in personalization. So yeah, I have links for you. So for those curious about this, you will explore via the links. And yeah, just to cover this last part of the load phase, that the option is that once we present a new file to the system and upload this data, either new data will be uploaded, so just new rows appear in the system, or of course the updates of existing rows will be loaded, because each of the object has its own identifier and the system can judge and control it automatically, what is the new and what is the update. This is just to present to you, this slide just represents what are the built-in ETLs in personalization. So by the link that was like 2 slides before, there is more information on each of this ETL and each requirement for exact ETL, so you can explore in official documentation, because there's like more information covering this. But speaking on top of this, I also divided into 3 parts. One is related to users, so it's something that has personal information of our customers. Either it's just B2C, so it's for users only. It's for subscriber lists, so those subscribers are tracked separately from the normal user ETL. So it's, let's say, another object presented in personalization. If we work in B2B and the system also operates not only on user level, but also account level, then accounts are managed through account ETL feed. We have also manual segment ETLs, because we work with the segmentation, and this part will be covered during MCP series in 2 days. So all these segments can be also prepared and uploaded to the system via ETL. And the other part is a catalog. So what is the information about our business, key business objects? So product lists are uploaded through ETLs, catalog objects, if it's just like some sort of content, articles, etc. So something external of the product is uploaded through catalog object ETL. We have categories, because of course we can categorize our products. So if we need to upload the structure of categories and relationship between each of them, we upload it through ETL, category ETL. And we have product locale ETL if we operate on different markets where locale makes sense for us. These are just availabilities of the system. Of course, you don't need to upload data in every of these ETL, but it's important to know what are the options. And the last one are transactions and events, because when we start with Interaction Studio, now Marketing Cloud Personalization, if we would like to upload some previous history of the campaign events or transactions, there is an opportunity for this, and we can do this either through transaction ETL for transactions, or external campaign events through this available ETL. And before we jump in, I hope, yeah, I'm still in the, oh no, just a second. I will just quickly, I was afraid of this. I need to put credentials. Sorry for this kind of small interruption. It was a time limit, you know, to log out from the platform. So I can then present it again to you. So here we go. Hope it's now. Can you see my screen right now? I hope you can see it. Just will update it. So we are normally in the tool in personalization, and our data integration is managed under gears and feeds. So we have here availability to jump into feeds dashboard, which actually opens a new window to work with the files here, and let's say validate them and execute to see what might be the updates. And we also have under the functionality SFTP files, where we can actually control what exactly is presented in our SFTP account managed, which is actually not something we can do in Marketing Cloud, I mean, we can view, but here is just like some sort of, even like some management functions are available. So here we have all of the files, because as you might track through my presentations, we have this extract, transform, and load functionality. So basically, the files are then going to different folders upon its execution. So those who are, let's say, failed and has some errors will be placed under failed folder. Those under testing phase will be placed under testing, and those successfully, let's say, processed will be placed into processed folder. So it's just like, let's say it's coming through different folders until it's either successfully processed or there are some errors. So this are the end files. And I would rather focus on execution of the file. So on the left side, we can see available feeds. So they're like, I'm working currently on the demo account. So that's why it's not the full list of the feeds available. But as I presented, these are normally out of the box ETLs that you can then upload the file. So it's important then to use a specific, so here is the history. Yeah, it's just, yeah, because there are like different feeds presented. That's why it's like some duplicates here. But besides this, like all ETLs will be available. So for instance, if you need to bring in accounts, of course you want to bring in accounts and files into into user ETL, but you will use the account ETL for this. So be careful, because sometimes you test the files and see errors because you just don't use the right ETLs. It's just like normal normal thing to get used to. So I would like to now select a file, probably. Yeah, selection of the file will be done through the available SFTP. I wanted actually to use my file from the desktop. So either you bring in some data into SFTP already and you would like to test it, so you can jump into like some folders and see if there is something available, or if you know precisely that there is a file waiting for the upload, you can do it from the selection. But I would rather focus on upload of the file. Probably lets me check if it works. Like I try to use like this. So I just drag and drop the file. No, it just doesn't work. So I need to update. Maybe there is some kind of technical issues here. It's always like when you test it beforehand and then something just doesn't work exactly the way you expect it to work. Oh God. It's like maybe this one. And yeah, it's just very strange. It doesn't work. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe if you can use some kind of files available from the system. That's strange, it doesn't work at the moment. I really need it to work. Let's focus on maybe some, I will just select any file. Let's see if we, so just normally you can either select the file from SFTP or upload file in a CSV format, pre-prepared and formatted, so that it actually responds to the configuration of the ETL. So we are working with user ETL, so you need to check a user format for ETLs through the documentation. The link is attached in my presentation. And once it's like prepared, you can run a test, but because it's just like, let's see how it goes, because it's like a segment export. I don't think it will be a successful file upload, but at least I can show to you what is the process of uploading and testing data files through this feeds dashboard. Yeah, so I can see the log. Yeah, so that's what as I expected, because there is some kind of like this segment export has its own configuration, and of course it's not like according to the user ETL, there are some errors. But the thing is that unfortunately I can't present like the flow I expected it to present. But you select the file, you run a test here, you will see here the table of data in a different, let's say, background color, because some of the data will be new to the system. So it will mark this data that it's new in green, and those in blue will show that actually this is some data that are so one is the new data to the system, and those some of the rows might be already existing, so just tell you that there are some kind of updates, and it will mark this kind of data, and those without any change won't be with color at all. And once all is prepared, you can create or click commit, so that you actually upload it to the production data, to the user ETL, so that you can then explore them. Let me just quickly try to maybe upload again. I don't know if it will work, or maybe load it again like this. We use, yeah, probably it's like, yeah, I will try to, yeah, maybe this one is the best one. Still doesn't work. Okay, so yeah, at least like I showed at least the process, unfortunately not with the real inputs. So that's how you manage it. So if you upload these users and the upload is successful, you can then check in the system those users in the normal search bar, so that to see if they were really uploaded and check their data inside of it. I will probably test it again and maybe show this feature in today's on the segmentation phase, so that you have it recorded in the right way. So let's now focus on channels integration, which is our communication channel channels available in personalization tool. We have a web integration, we have mobile and email. All of these channel integrations are linked with the precise documentation officially available from Salesforce sources, so that you can again explore details around each of the integration. As for now, I will just present to you what are the possibilities. So with the web integration, in the first half, in the first MCP series, you covered already sitemap and JavaScript snippet insert. So basically that's how integration is viewed in personalization. So it was already covered previously, but just to highlight it again, this integration is used to track website interactions of the user, and also capture user data through the forms, through the submissions, both for anonymous profiles and name profiles, which are recognized to us and are already existing in the tool. As well as integration helps us to render web personalized campaigns, because we not only get data into personalization, but we also use prepared data from personalization to prepare those personalized campaigns in a format of banners or promotions or product recommendations back to the web. So it's like, again, exchange of the data in between. Then we have mobile integration, which is available for Apple iOS SDK and Android SDK. All configurations related to mobile integration, again, you can view through official documentation, which is linked here. And what can we achieve with this integration? Again, we don't only capture info about the user who is using the mobile application, its device, that we can track in-app behavior and enrich personalization profiles with additional activities captured and data and insights coming from the mobile application. But also we generate statistics and feed machine learning with what we have received out of it. Personalization campaigns are triggered to mobile apps too. So there are possibilities to communicate with the customers through mobile in a way that we can send push notifications when a user is having the application on the phone but is not currently inside of it. So we'd like to persuade this person to get into. We can send in-app messages through mobile integration and personalization when a user actually is online in the mobile application and currently is browsing it. And there is personalization available through content. So we can deliver some personalized content into mobile application in a way of promotions, banners, some sort of CPAs, next best offers, next best actions. But what I can tell you in advance is that a communication such as push and in-app are natively available feature, which is the content personalization through mobile is something that is customized and should be done, should be developed extra to what the platform have available. So it's just on top of it. And then we have email integration. So how email integration is used is interesting because before, of course, when the product was not under Salesforce portfolio, it was managed separately with any or like most of the available email sending engines and can deliver even content by itself. So it could also perform email sends. But because personalization is now the part of Salesforce Marketing Cloud portfolio, email integration is rather viewed through Marketing Cloud because we don't execute emails through personalization, but we prepare personalized content based on captured profile data of our users or accounts, and then prepare this prepared content sent back to Marketing Cloud so that it's used in the email and sent out through Marketing Cloud either directly to the Marketing Cloud contacts or through journeys. So the execution of the email is done on Marketing Cloud side, and preparation of personalized content or preparation of open time email campaigns is managed on personalization side. It's also important to understand this part because we don't send emails, and personalization, we only prepare the content, personalized content for those users. And also you can explore more information on email integration via the link attached here. The API integration. API integration is, as you remember, is the custom way of bringing data in and taking data out from personalization. And normally how it's done is through API requests and API responses. So also please explore those links attached. Expect that some parts will be rather technical, all kind of request execution or response format and even examples of how requests might look like you can find under documentation. So here I would rather cover what is meant by request and response. So when we see event API request, when we work with it in personalization, it's basically when it uses standard HTTP methods and returns then back JSON formatted responses to requests generated by personalization event sources. So basically we request some data from the side tool with some kind of application that is not covered through normal integrations available in personalization. And then of course we receive response in JSON format back, so that it actually, if we need something to personalization, we build API request and then we receive back information from the system in terms of some kind of either profile data missing or additional statistics or some activities extra on top of what we have available in personalization. And when we work with response, so what is the API response? Again, please view on this event APIs from the part of personalization. So when its request, it means that personalization tool requests some data from some tool that lays somewhere not related, not connected to personalization. So it's some kind of separate tool, separate platform. When it's event API response, it means that, again, personalization responds to some third-party system with some data. So basically, it returns, again, JSON formatted file or response that contains information about campaigns, about personalization that was requested. So responses are normally done when a site tool requests personalization to deliver content. And I can give you an example that, for instance, when we want to connect with an ATM for some bank client, so of course, we don't have native connector to the ATM of the bank or like point of sale tool or something like this kind of system. So there are no normal connectors or not natively available in personalization. So for that kind of integration, we need to bring in and work with the API requests and responses. So let's take this banking use case. So once there is a person who comes to ATM to withdraw some money, we understand that, yeah, this customer is now online. Let's say he is now using the ATM machine. So basically, the thing is that at this moment, ATM should request some data from personalization, because it sends then data from ATM that what is the user, this identification of the user, let's say their maybe ATM ID identification and placement, etc., etc. So all this kind of data, it sends to personalization, and personalization then responds to this with some sort of campaign that might present to this customer on ATM, so in sort of like banner or some sort of promotion or CTA, whatever else. So that's like when third-party system, which is not natively integrated, requests some data from personalization, and then personalization responds with a personalized campaign or personalized content that will be then presented in that tool to the customer. We also need sometimes some data from the third-party source to enrich our profiles, and then we manage event API requests. So I hope this also makes sense to you. I would like to back to this kind of conversation of APIs and customization and personalization. I prepared this sort of schema for the server-side integration. It's quite like, it has, of course, some text. It might sound for you very technical and hard to understand, but normally it's like, I will try to simplify it. So server-side communication and integration is when Martin Cloud personalization communicates with the, let's say, some server, again, not natively connected to Martin Cloud personalization. So we need to use API support with this. So normally it starts with calling server-side API of Martin Cloud personalization, and provides information about the visitor. So it's just normally in the schema presented in my case with the banking account. So it sends some ID of the person, context of the visit, some actions. So login, time, place, location, etc., etc., etc. With that received, Martin Cloud personalization compares the information about this visitor so that it relates to some customer profile already prepared in Martin Cloud personalization, and sees what is the campaign logic. And it then, after, uses a JSON payload to return personalized recommendation, even kind of like additional user attributes that should be presented, or maybe we need some other campaign data targeted to that visitor. We just then decide on our own what should be returned, but then it's just returned as API response back to the server so that it's presented to the end user. So it's just covering the schema of integration possible. And we also have integration with Salesforce products. So these are, again, I wouldn't say it's native integration with some of the products, because you still need to cover a lot of processes, and I'd say it's set up configuration before the product is connected. So it's, again, there are some, of course, consideration for each of the product integration, but I created for all of them. Again, found the link and all the processes, how data is exchanged, how integration is made, are available through this link of Salesforce integration, because again, for the purpose of time, we can spend the whole hours speaking about each of them in a very detail. So I would like to focus rather on the overall aspect of each integration, and then all the rest you can explore yourself. So let's start with Data Cloud, which is quite popular product nowadays, which is acts CDP. The product was built in-house and is basically responsible for managing data, orchestrating them, prepare segment, and then use after activation tools for activating those data prepared in Data Cloud. So one of the activation tool might be a Marketing Cloud, for instance. So in Data Cloud, when we are connected to personalization, we actually send personalization user event data. So where we fulfill customer profiles in Data Cloud with personalization data that we have captured and monitored. But we also can receive Data Cloud profile and segment data back to the personalization tool. So it's again exchange. I would say it's bidirectional. So it's like fulfilling customer profiles in Data Cloud, as well as getting those segment data and profile information from other systems through Data Cloud into personalization tool. When we speak about integration with Marketing Cloud, we can exchange data with Marketing Cloud components. So it's normally journeys, automations. We already touched the topic of email integration, which is also covered through Marketing Cloud integration. So it's getting those data from Marketing Cloud, exchanging them, fulfilling profiles that are prepared in personalization, and then responding back with some personalization content when, let's say, building emails and delivering those emails to our end users. We have available integration with Service and Sales Cloud. I would rather say that definitely, yeah, in CRM, we store data about our clients. So this can be also pushed to personalization to fulfill profiles with additional attributes. But the most of like the key feature is that back into Service Sales Cloud, we sent personalization data in terms of promotions that are prepared in Marketing Cloud personalization, so that our service agents or sales consultants can view on customer profiles, like on contact information, on lead information, or what actually can be promoted for this specific contact or lead. That is actually, this promotion is pushed from personalization. So it's just to enrich with the data and help service agents, sales consultants to deliver this personalized communication to the customers. We have also integration with the Commerce Cloud, which is working on exchange of the data. So this data from Commerce Cloud can be pushed to personalization to fulfill profiles in the system, as well as commerce. I would say, like, honestly to you that in Commerce Cloud, as it manages the web and let's say a commerce website, it's still the integration not coming through Commerce Cloud itself, but if we speak about combination of Commerce Cloud and personalization, then personalization is connected to the web directly, not through Commerce Cloud. So it's rather, that's why it's just exchange of the data, because if we capture something and it's relevant for us to have in personalization, then we might use it. But overall, the web is then integrated normally through web integration phase and site mapping. We have Experience Cloud, which is same as Commerce Cloud, exchanges the data, but also can provide back personalized recommendation based on the user connection. And I marked CRM Analytics and Tableau with asterisks because for this type of Salesforce integration, you need to have, you need to purchase, or your client should purchase Marketing Cloud Personalization Data Warehouse add-on product, because then the overall integration is done through this data warehouse feature. So then it exchanges the data, and how it does it, it's for CRM analytics, it imports predictive scores to Marketing Cloud Personalization and explores personalization data that is prepared in personalization tool. With Tableau, it's just remains within exploration of personalization data prepared in personalization tool. But yeah, it just like highlights of each integration. I hope it at least gives you some overview on each of them. But in case you need more details and you want to discover it in a deeper way, there are links available so you can explore. And to finalize with the data integration topic, I would focus maybe on useful sources, because there is like resources I really like and that are very insightful and quite complex, I would say. So there is like a data warehouse link that actually leads to, I will show to you the schemas that are available in personalization in terms of like which objects are connected, because sometimes when you deliver a product and you are coming through implementation phase, data team of your client might ask like what is like how data is viewed in personalization, and this kind of resource is quite helpful because it's basically the back end of the tool where you can see relationship. Of course, you can download and explore it in detail in a zoomed in format. But the thing is that it's not like how we store the data in Marketing Cloud in a data extension and connected through, let's say, in a data model, but it's already having personalization has its own data model that is hidden, and you just upload the data into prepared objects, which is ETL. So if you want to explore this, you can read this article in developers documentation to get more information on this. There's also data dictionaries for those who are probably interested in let's say what are like some of the attributes, how the data is, like rather for data analysts and those who are willing to then export the data from personalization tool for deeper exploration with other tools available on the market, like business intelligence, let's say. And we also have Scratch schema. So this is the Scratch schema, which is like this basically uses Scratch tables for analysis, reporting, and investigation. Again, it relates to data analytics, but it's useful for exploration for those who are willing to work with it in a deeper way. So this, I would say, all in terms of like data integration. So even like coming back to the like demo, I will probably try to again test the fit and to start with it right away during the segmentation that we have in 2 days. But overall, like web is managed through web and web integration that was already covered. Server-side campaigns are managed, but this is something that again relates to rather campaign setup. There is like schema explaining the details of this integration in my presentation. We have mobile, so we normally need to add the app into the personalization space, and there is again explanation in the documentation of what should be covered for each of the setup, because there are also like things that if the app is not supporting SDK, unfortunately there is not possible to use SDK from personalization, and you need to connect the mobile application through API, which is then limits you to those features available through mobile SDK from personalization. emails. And normally, like in email, you don't need to do specific setup under email because it's just done through Martin Cloud integration overall. But you can create open time email campaigns, and that's the thing. But again, this part relates not to data integration, but rather campaigns. And catalog, I would say, as it's like catalog promotions, as they are also related to, let's say, website interactions. They are managed and brought through web scratching and shadow catalog feature. And yeah, normally I covered this feeds, how it's done. And that's basically in terms of data integration. I would rather than I would rather take then time during a segmentation day, and I will start right away with unified customer profile, and then connect it to the segmentation, because these two topics are rather related to each other than just data integration. As you see, that the data integration topic is quite intense. So not to overwhelm people today, I would maybe switch to the Q&A, answer the question, and for today we can finalize it.
Wonderful, Ekat, you rock. So that's a wealth of information. And I think all of us have a lot of homework to do. Thanks for all the resources that you have shared. So everyone, so we will be sharing the slide deck as well shortly after the session. So please check all the resources that Ekat has attached in the slide deck, and be ready for the next session. Next session is going to be more loaded. That's what, right, Ekat? It's going to have more information. So I see no questions. That is all for today. And thanks, Mabel, for sharing the links. The Ask Me Anything panel, I hope you are all able to find it and fill in your questions in that. And any other questions, please reach out to me or on the Slack channel. Thank you very much, Ekat, for a wonderful session.
Yeah, so let's meet then in 2 days when we start right away. I will try to do this like this feed upload, because I really want to show you how this is done in the platform. It might be useful for you. So then we will focus on unified customer profile and segmentation, because segmentation is rather like not that heavy as data integration. So I would rather, connect it with the unified customer profile, and it will be a solid session altogether. So it might be very beneficial for the audience. And thank you very much for your time.
Sense.
Yeah, agree.
It's all our pleasure, Ekat. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hope you liked the session. It was insightful for you.
And thank you, Ekat. I have one last thing. People who have filled out the form for the certification voucher, please stay back. And Ekat, if you want, you can hop off. Thank you.
I wish you